Yo, what's going on, guys? I am the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed As Podcast. Episode, I want to say 153. I'm going to be honest, I did not look before I hit the start recording button. Gonna be completely honest with y'all. Let's see. Yeah, 153. Look at me knowing what I'm doing. It's just me today. I tried to find some people for guests. It just didn't work out. But, that just is what it is. Apparently, and I didn't know this, that 90s show is out on Netflix now. And Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis made a cameo. That's pretty funny. Oh my god, Wilmer Valderrama did too. Fez is back. Let's go. Wait, were Eric and Donna back too? That's cool. They brought everybody back, and it's Leo. Sick. That's so cool. I've been so excited for that show. I need to go watch it now that I know it's out. That's wild. Real quick, just since we're jumping into the news section of this today, apparently Alec Baldwin is being charged with involuntary manslaughter because of the shooting that took place on the movie set. That is still the most ridiculous charge ever. I get he was a producer, but at that point, every producer on the movie should be held accountable for safety measures, not just Baldwin. And realistically, the armorer or the gun expert, the prop expert, he's the one at fault here. Most actors have never fired a real gun, and even if they have, their knowledge isn't that great. The way this works is the armorer preps the gun, whether it's safe or hot. Safe meaning it has no ammunition of any kind. Hot meaning it has blanks, but you still don't want to fire those at people. So they get handed the gun. They say whether it's safe or hot, and you're good. If there were real bullets in that gun, that's not Alec Baldwin's fault in any way. That's the armorer. Like, you're punishing the wrong dude here. He was just handed the prop weapon, was either lied to or the armorer didn't do his job checking the weapon first, and some shit happened, and now he's got to face, like, legitimate consequences over something that was somebody else's fault, and that's absolutely insane. Like, it makes no sense. Like, that's wild to me. But, whatever. That's life. I think I want to try to transition this show away from talking football as much as possible. Like, obviously, we're still going to get into it sometimes. But now, with us last week introducing the Run the North podcast, it is entirely a sports podcast hosted by myself, Miller Football, and Jake Talk Sports. We covered Wild Card Weekend last week. This week, the episode should be up about 3 hours after that. I don't know. Sometime after this is up, the second episode of Run the North will be out. We recap all of the wild card games, make our prediction for the divisional round. That's about as far as we get. We ramble a lot, which you're either going to love or you're going to hate, honestly, but we do. We ramble a lot, and I may have spent 30 minutes of that episode talking about the Vikings and how awful that playoff game was, but because we now have that show, I feel like I can use this to talk more about just life and all of those type of things, which leads me to where my point actually was going to be for today. I want 2023 to be the year of the Geek Slays. I want this to be the year we finally take over, if that makes sense. I'm sick of sitting in limbo, man. I plan to go at least kind of back to where we were in 2020, where instead of 4-hour streams every day like I've been doing the last 2 years, let's get those numbers back up. I used to stream 12 hours a day and upload a YouTube video daily. Like, I feel like I've gotten incredibly lazy. A bunch of people still tell me, like, I work hard, I do a lot. To me, it feels like I'm lazy because I'm not even doing half of what I used to do. And I just want to grow and get to where I want to be and experience the life that I envision for myself. And doing less work is not going to get me there. Like, I want to get better at posting more vids on YouTube than just one every Friday. I want to get better at, maybe we start uploading 4 to 5 TikToks a day instead of 1 or 2, stream for maybe not 12 hours because that's a little insane, especially if I'm actually going to be doing everything else. Along with this podcast, Run the North, like, there's a lot. But, maybe move to 6 to 8 hours a day of streams and 4 or 5 TikToks. And maybe it's not a YouTube video every day, but, more consistent with YouTube. More than one video a week would be good for me, and I still want to do all sorts of stuff. I still want to go back to TwitchCon. We talked about all of my goals for this year, but really, I just want to move forward. I want to progress. It feels like I have let myself get kind of stuck at where we are, and it's like we've reached the glass ceiling, but instead of like punching through it, I just like, all right, well, this is as far as we can go. Feels like I've kind of given up on trying to push farther and elevate higher, and I don't want that to be where I sit forever. I know growth is not, that simple. Well, you just post more, you'll grow faster. I get that's not how this works. But what I also get is I want so badly. I want this so bad. I wake up every day and all I do is think about content in everything I'm doing. Everything I'm doing is either me thinking of what content could I be making? What videos can I make? Or it's while I'm recording content, how can I do this better? What can I do to make this more entertaining for people, to get more people to want to watch? I think a big part of it, I got to learn all of the back end stuff about YouTube and TikTok. I've never understood it. It's probably time that I sit down and figure it all out. What tags should I be using to get, to drive up the chances of this video doing well in the algorithm? What thumbnails are tricky because I know colors are important and placement's important and making sure it's something people want to click is important. I want to learn how to make better thumbnails. And I mean, if you scroll back on my YouTube channel, not the Scuffed As one, obviously, because the thumbnail for all of the episodes is just the Scuffed As logo. But if you go back to my YouTube channel, The Geek Slays, and you sort by like oldest videos on the channel, right? I actually want to do this while we're talking about it, so I guess we can't sort by oldest, but we can sort by popular. Or even if we just go recently uploaded and just scroll back a ways. Because over the last year, I've done actual thumbnails for every video, which is a big step for me because I used to just let YouTube auto pick a random frame from the video as our thumbnails. Like that's just how we used to run it, as awful as that was. You can't really tell, I guess, on the new YouTube channel. I guess that was mostly before. But like my What You Say video is just a picture of me and Anthony from the video. CSGO, but I'm goated is just a picture of a CSGO skin holding a knife to his finger. Then there's just a lot of awful thumbnails. The Doomsday event for Fortnite, no thumbnail. That's just plucked straight out of the game. Same with Heavy Weapons Only. And that is what a lot of my thumbnails used to be. And then for a while, it was just me finding random pictures on Google to upload. Until finally, as we progressed through life, we started doing better. I guess really starting with the dipping Oreos in strange substances video, the first one. But even then, right after that, there were a lot of thumbnails that were either just pictures from the internet or pictures directly from the video without any text or anything. And I think as we've progressed since then, we've definitely gotten better at thumbnails. But I want to get even better at thumbnails. Like, we're okay now. But, how much farther can I take it? can I make it better? Can I get my videos to be something more people want to see and want to click on just based off the thumbnails? That's going to be big. I mean, hardware-wise and technically, I'm already there. Like, my audio setup is really good, and like, I think that comes across. I think you can tell that my audio is good compared to a lot of things, and video, I'm using an actual camera, not a webcam, and I think that you can tell that, like, the technical aspect and the having all of the pieces I need to create the content is already there. Now it's learning more and kind of adjusting the way I do things and making sure that I'm giving myself the best opportunities to succeed as we move forward, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You've got to put in the work. You've got to grind. You've got to do all of that. And I absolutely plan to, as wild as it is. But yeah, then, I mean, for streams, I need to find more games that I like genuinely enjoy playing. Valorant can be fun, but it's normally not unless we have a full 5-man, and I think I want to move away from playing Valorant and like only playing it when we have, Wonder and me and Anthony and Jedi and Entity, or, any random assortment of 5 people, but they got to be 5 people that I know am okay and comfortable with actually playing with on stream. Because if you have like teammates who you can speak to, it's better. Who you can speak to without the threat of, them trying to ruin your Twitch career by saying some really fucked up shit, which has happened, and that's why we don't talk to randos in Valorant. But like, Fortnite to me's dead, man. It's just, it's got no juice left no more. Like, I milked that cow, apparently. Part of me wants to really get back into zombies, and I think that's something I'm gonna do. I think I convinced Wonder to re-download Black Ops 3. I might even end up buying him the DLCs for it so we can just play all of the different zombies maps and do a bunch of zombies stuff. We're in the Miller Football Madden League. We just played some of that. But, single-player games are fun until you run out of new single-player games to play that you actually care about. I know I could download a new single-player game every week and just play it, but to me it has to be something I care about, which for streams, that means I need to find a new game. For a long time, it was Call of Duty, and then I got bored. For a long time, it was Fortnite, and then I got bored. It's a mixture of me getting bored and the game getting stale. Like, they're not doing anything awesome. The player base is just, I shouldn't say sweaty. And I think that's something that we all need to realize. It's not about being sweaty. And even like the skill-based matchmaking stuff, it's not like that the base skill level for players now in games like Call of Duty and Fortnite, where you've been able to play them for years and years and years, the base skill has gotten higher. So the bad players in your lobbies aren't that bad anymore. The odds of finding an actual terrible player are quite low now. And I think that's why everybody thinks it's so sweaty, is because the average player has gotten so much better, which means the bad players have gotten better, which means there's no actual genuinely awful players anymore, or a very small number of them that you don't see. And that's the other thing. I think people have realized if you're not good at games and it's not fun anymore, don't play them. That's like been something. Either you try really hard to get better, or you just go, I don't want to play this game anymore. It's not fun. And I think that's been the route that a lot of people have taken. So, I've been, I just started God of War Ragnarok. We still got to play Deathloop. But after that, like, I want to find something multiplayer that we can just grind out again for a really long time. I miss being able to jump online and play Fortnite for 10 hours a day because it was just fun. Like, you didn't get bored. You didn't get angry. You didn't hate your life. Whereas now, like, I do. Like, it's boring. I can't play it for that long. You either get really bored or you get really angry. And that's just like not a fun way to go about things. And I think for streams that can also be a problem. When you get really angry or really toxic or any of that, I feel like people notice. And if that's the content people want to watch or are expecting from you, that makes sense. But I don't think that's what people are expecting when they click on my stream. And like, that's just not, I don't know. It's also not great for me to constantly be angry and toxic and going crazy. But yeah, I think the other thing I want to do is do more collaboration in gaming with other streamers and content creators of any kind, really. Like, I want to be on more podcasts. I want to do more cool stuff for YouTube videos with people. I want to be on streams and playing games with people all the time. Like, I really want to take another step this year. Is it going to be easy? God, no. But none of this ever has been. And I don't know. I think over the last 2 years, realistically, since like Mixer shut down, it just killed me and my brain and my mental health and my mental drive just kind of went with Mixer. And that's not ideal for sure. But, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, you gotta keep moving forward, and I think it's finally time that we really double back down and get really into it. So I want to talk about some of my future plans. I don't want to get too into detail, but, you know, I do want to bring some stuff up. Like, the next YouTube thing I'm really, really going to hit and drive into. We're still going to do cooking videos and that type of thing because I enjoy those. They're fun. We are putting the Star Wars cookbook away. We've had one good thing out of it. Like, I'm not a fan so far of the stuff in the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge cookbook, which means we need to pick up some more cookbooks because the Bob's Burgers Burger Book, there's only so much burger you can do. So we're going to continue with cooking videos and try to get some of that different stuff. We're still going to be talking ball any chance we get and anytime we want to because football is like something I love, and that's just something we're going to continue to do and talk about, whether it's Madden stuff, whether it's talking about NFL news, whether it's predictions for things or, you know, dream scenarios for me. Those are videos I want to create. The other thing that I 100% have planned for this year, I don't know exactly when it'll start because, you know, money exists. But I want to go through, and if I don't already own them or whatever, I want to go through and purchase every single Call of Duty game, trying to decide if I'm going to deal with 1, 2, and 3 and then Big Red 1, which I don't even know if you can get anywhere anymore. So I might skip those 3 and just start at COD 4 Modern Warfare. But I want to go through, review them, talk about, you know, how they were made, what problems and different things came along with them being made and what was going on at the time and really how all of that went down. And then I want to basically talk about what made each individual part of those games special and why they're looked back so fondly on. Or if it's a game like Ghosts where you look back and you hate it, you know, maybe we can point out what the good was, what the bad was, and why some people loved it because of this was the good stuff and this made it really fun, and this is why people hated it because these parts were genuinely bad and you wanted to do better, right? You wanted it to be better. And then, you know, that gives me the chance to talk about each individual part of each game. You know, I can spend 20 minutes breaking down the campaign and why it was great and why the story was good and how it came to be, and then get to spend 30 minutes talking about the multiplayer and what was good and what was bad and how it was fun. And then spend another 20 to 30 minutes or like an hour, depending on the game, talking about zombies or Spec Ops or whatever the other modes are, and really tell the story of Call of Duty through each individual game and what it took to really get those games made, and like the struggles of the development of some of the different COD games. And I think that will be a really fun thing to do. Trying to figure out where I'm going to start. Do I want to go in order? Do I want to pick random games? I think I want to start with COD 4, just because it's like the game that made Call of Duty what it is today, and I think you've got to start with that and then progress forward somehow. Maybe I go the entire Modern Warfare series and then, cover Ghosts and Infinite Warfare, and then do all of the Sledgehammer stuff and then all of the Treyarch stuff. I don't know yet, but it is what it is. That is something I want to get started on this year. Eventually, I'd love to move out and get my own place and get away from the terrible internet that is here. Like, last night, I had to end my stream early because my internet went down for 30 minutes. Now, that one was due to weather, but, like, this is shit that happens all the time, and it's awful. And that's another really easy thing to get you demotivated, is you want to sit down, you want to stream, you want to work on things, and then your internet doesn't work. Like, that's awful, man. It really, really is. And, I don't know what's going to be next after that. Like, I'm still going to do the things I've done before, game reviews when I get done with a game. I've realized, like, true Let's Plays just aren't the type of content you guys want to see from me, at least on YouTube. The High on Life stuff didn't do great. The Madden rebuilds are always hit and miss, to say the least. Film reviews, I just enjoy doing them, so obviously those will stick around. Obviously, like, fun games from stream will get pulled. I think the reading Reddit stories video was fun to do and, like, got a decent number of views. And, like, it was fun, so probably continue making that type of stuff. Food reviews are fun. I wish we lived in a place where we could do more of them, or even do, like, local places. I would love to, but the issue with living in such a small place is we start doing local places, and it's going to be real easy to pinpoint where the hell I am, which is not the goal. I'll still be doing tech reviews whenever I get new tech, but I don't have the money to just be constantly buying tech, so that is something that we kind of have to wait for the future on. The cooking videos, like I said, are 100% going to be back. The Creator Clash tourney that we did last year, I'd love to do more stuff like that. Maybe do some video game tournaments and movies and that type of stuff. Just kind of keep both the podcast fresh, and then, at the end when I go through and do my own version of it, that's more regular YouTube content. But yeah, Let's Plays are kind of out. I'd love to do more setup tours and setup builds. The Building Wonders setup video was actually one of the most fun things I've ever done. I'd love to be able to do more stuff like that. I'd love to be at the point where I could be like the Tech Source, where I could go through, like, once a month, or even if it was just once or twice a year, pay for somebody's setup and go build it for them without them knowing. That shit's so fun, and I love it. I'm trying to think of other types of content that I've already planned out. There are some things I don't want to mention yet, just because whether they could break down and not happen, or just, keeping some surprises is always good. But yeah, attending more conventions would be fun. Collabs would be fun. E3, if they do it again, would be so sick. I'd love to go to an E3. I wanted to go to CES, but, again, money exists. And that's the other thing. I want to do more. Last year, 2022, we worked with EA quite a bit. Like, we did the early hands-on and review of Grid Legends. We did the Super Bowl stuff for EA. I'd love to continue working with them. I'd love to find other companies to work with and do videos with, because that was honestly really fun. Like, yeah. And then TwitchCon, like, allowed me to be, like, it's, everything has remotivated me. Taking the week off helped the brain. It really did. You know, it helped me see through the bullshit I'd been telling myself, which is always a good thing to do. But yeah, other than that, for at least content, that's really all I had to say. But, you know, I was scrolling on Twitter the other day. We're just straight transitioning out of this, and it's okay. But been scrolling on Twitter lately and seen a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of weird stats. Like, I know I said I didn't want to talk about football, but the Vikings are the only team in the Super Bowl era to complete 80% of their passes, not turn the ball over, not allow a sack, and still lose. Previously, teams in that situation were 47-0 in the regular season and playoffs combined. The Vikings playoff game against the Giants, we made it 47-1 because our defense was that awful. Ed Donatel is not that guy, man. He's not that guy. Yeah, it's something else right now. Oh God, Star Wars is trending on Twitter. What are Star Wars fans saying to be angry? Star Wars fans are always saying things to be angry. Oh, we get a new Bad Batch episode. Is that already out? I don't know. I'll look later. Yeah, The Mandalorian is really bringing every era of Star Wars together. Yeah, they brought Coruscant back to make it look real. It's also really rude, though. They're showing Order 66 again. So, God fucking damn it, Dave. There's a droid bar. Yeah, this is something. God, I really wonder if they're going to show Anakin. Oh my God, they could. That would be incredible. In the Order 66 scenes, to actually show Anakin would be awesome. But we also know that, you know, whatever this season of The Mandalorian's going to do, it's going to tie in with Ahsoka, and, you know, Thrawn is eventually going to show up, which is fun. So that's good. I love when Star Wars is a dad and their child that's actually older than them, but will probably outlive them. That's the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch. It's just a father with a child that's actually older than them that will still outlive them. Yeah. Yep, Star Wars did have Shaggy from Scooby-Doo in it. Like, genuinely. There was a Jedi named Shaggy. Looked exactly like him. Got absolutely murdered by Grievous. It was a great time. All right. If you're a fan of Linus Tech Tips, name all of the tech tips then. Just drop everything. That's the only tip I've ever learned from Linus. It, that's the only thing Linus has ever taught anyone, is to drop things. Nice. That looks awful. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I gotta figure out how to use Twitter. I get zero interactions almost no matter what I do. Twitter doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's nothing you're tagging. There's nothing you're trying to whip up. But, like, you tweet out something really creative, no one cares. Like, I don't get Twitter. Twitter makes no sense. But, you know, is what it is. Ooh. All right, a thread of my favorite player from each NFL team. I just kind of want to go through this in my own head. On the Cardinals, my favorite player is either D-Hop or Kyler. I'm going to go Kyler because he's actually going to be on the Cardinals next year. The Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Pitts or A.J. Terrell for sure. Ravens, it's Lamar. Bills, it's Stephon Diggs. Panthers, who's my favorite player on the Panthers? Not previously on the Panthers, but currently. Probably Brian Burns. I'm a big Brian Burns guy. The Bears, it's Justin Fields. The Bengals, it's Jamar. The Browns, it's Kellen Mond. No, it's Nick Chubb. On the Cowboys, it would be Anthony Barr. Yes, I'm just saying that because he's a Viking. It was. The favorite player on the Broncos would be... Who's a good player on the Broncos? Who's somebody I care about on the Broncos? Oh, man. Pat Surtain, for sure. It would be Pat Surtain. The Lions, it's Jamal Williams. The Packers, it's Aaron Rodgers. The Texans, it's Derek Stingley. The Colts, it's Shaq Leonard. The Jags would be Josh Allen. Better Josh Allen, I should say. Chiefs, it's Mahomes. Raiders, it's Max Crosby. The Chargers, it's Khalil Mack. Though I do like Herbert. I've always loved Khalil Mack. On the Rams, it's Jalen Ramsey. The Dolphins is Teddy Bridgewater, obviously. The Vikings, the whole team. Not the whole team. Everyone except Ed Ingram. Not a big Ed Ingram guy. Patriots. Probably Jack Jones. Matthew Judon, maybe. Yeah, I'd say Judon. The Saints. It's Marshawn Lattimore, man. For the Giants, it's Saquon. For the Jets, it's Sauce. For the Eagles, it's Jalen Hurts. For the Steelers, it's TJ Watt, 100%. For the 49ers, I would have to go with Fred Warner. Like, he's just on another level as a linebacker. On the Seahawks, I would have to go Kobe Bryant. I'm a big fan of Kobe. For the Bucks, probably Julio. And then for the Titans, it would be Derrick Henry. And then for the Commanders, Heineke, probably. I don't know. I don't really care about the Commanders. There you go. I made a list for you. That helped. But we interrupt your daily Twitter scrolling for goddamn Eero. I'm gonna have to get into that. That could be fun. I guess since I'm just covering some NFL stuff anyways, because I didn't really plan to be alone, so I'm just talking. Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who was considered maybe the hottest head coaching candidate, says he will return back to Detroit on an enhanced contract that features a large raise. But he will be in Detroit. He's excited. He thinks they're building something, which they are. They're building something over there in Detroit. It scares me a little. Yep. Reporter to Justin Jefferson. Will you sign an extension to stay in Minnesota? Yeah, if they want me to. Reporter, do you want Justin Jefferson to stay in Minnesota? Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, our GM? Yes. Completely insane, people. Looks like JJ's on his way out. It's fucking wild, dude. Like, I know Randy Moss and Diggs left, but What the fuck? Now imagine this, but the completely insane person is the star player. Oh, you're talking about Rodgers. I thought you were talking about I thought you were trying to say JJ was the guy. If the Vikings blow it up after 2023, would you consider trading JJ? No. No, I wouldn't. Like, even if we're going to blow it up, dude's 23, dog. Like, he's young. Why would we trade him? He's got another 10 years of prime left. Oh, we're going to blow it up next year. We won't be rebuilt in the next 10 years. Like, there's no way we're going to suck for 10 years, I promise. That's insane. All right, what other dumb shit do we know? What other dumb shit is the internet trying to tell me? The Vikings expect Kirk Cousins to return in 2023. I mean, he's under contract, and it's a big contract, so I don't know how we'd get rid of him. All right. Yeah. It does suck to be a Vikings fan, though, that's for sure. We've constantly watched them fail. Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi took over a team, had three of their draft picks hurt, still finished with our record, and we made the playoffs. The future's bright. That's true. Man, I want us to go get a QB this year. I really, really do. Anthony Richardson would look so good in purple. He really would. I'm a big fan. Or even if it was like a second-round flyer on Hendon Hooker or Max Duggan, I'd be okay with that. Like, we do need to find a young guy, though. We cannot keep moving forward with Kirk. You're paying him too much money, and it just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Misery loves company. Most Vikings Twitter accounts have had more traffic on Twitter today, which was the day following the playoff collapse, than we have since 2020 versus New Orleans in the playoffs. Yep. People need to get it out of their system. Vikings fans deserve more. That's true. One time before I die is all I ask. But I don't know if we'll see that at all, but it kind of is what it is at that point. But yeah, I'm glad that we're already negotiating with Jefferson. I think trying to get him a contract now would be smart, because if you try to wait 2 years, you may have to pay him $80 million a year, where right now you could get away with 35, 40. Like, I'd want to sign the extension now if I'm the Vikings, but if I'm JJ, I want to wait. No, he's not. Stop, dude. All of the Vikings' first draft, Quessie's first draft as a Viking sucked. Dude, they were injured. Like, chill out. I don't. No, it's not obvious. Stop. It's obvious Brisker was better coming out of the draft. Not a single person had Brisker rated above Lewis Cine. Do not do that. Stop making up shit to try to sound right. You're not, and you're stupid. Thank you. Yes, I'm being aggressive about it, but oh my God. Yep. Kwesi is absolutely going to trade down in the draft probably 6 times. Half a dozen, you know. Fans are going to lose it, and it's going to be hilarious. I think it's the right move, though. We need a lot of talent. We need a lot of young talent. The best way to do that is to acquire more draft picks. Yeah, if all the people telling me or saying to the world that we should extend Kirk don't get it. He's old, dog. Like, we got to move on at some point. But it is what it is. And yeah, I mean, God, ending up with Bijan Robinson would be cool. I don't like using a first round pick on Bijan when there's way bigger needs. But we are going to trade Dalvin. If we could trade Dalvin Cook for a first round pick, that'd be sick. Can we? I don't know. But if we could, that'd be sick. I'd be down. Oh, good God. People are talking crazy. People are talking crazy on Twitter. Lurkers is trending. Stop banning and hating on lurkers. True. How do we feel about lurkers on Twitch? This better not be real. I'd be okay with 75 of them for 30 days. That's valid. That's valid. I've said it before and will say it to the end of time. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch. Absolutely. Lurkers are the best. I saw somebody tweet this out, and it bugs me, but now I'm not going to see it. So that's annoying. But yeah, people talking about lurkers and saying that they're being lazy and whatever. It's just ridiculous, if we're being honest. And it doesn't really make sense, because without lurkers, like, you're not doing anything to further the stream or help me. Yeah, they are. It's called watching, you fucking idiot. I know some people are being like, haha, funny, we're making shit up, but like, oh my God. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm dying. My allergies are starting to act up, which is going to be my sign to go ahead and call this episode. I know it's a little short, but also it's just me. So I don't know if you want to sit and listen to my voice for 45 minutes, but here we are. But yeah, without further ado, I think that'll do it for me. So thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.